And then, after the Titans make that pick, all of a sudden things get super spicy, super juicy, super interesting because the Atlanta Falcons take Michael Penix Jr. I was watching the draft in the most obnoxious way possible because my husband was watching a fantasy football podcast that was ahead of the broadcast and was ahead of Twitter somehow. I don't know how these guys were doing it, but they had every pick and they had gotten every pick correct about, I don't know, like 3 minutes earlier than they were showing them on the main broadcast. And so Chris like gasps to the side. He goes, okay, well, now you have to tell me. He said, the Falcons are going to take Michael Penix Jr. And I said, no way. This is where they absolutely get one wrong. And yes way, the Atlanta Falcons, who just signed Kirk Cousins to a $180 million deal this offseason, 2 years of that at $90 million guaranteed, went and took their quarterback of the future, giving them perhaps the oldest quarterback room in the NFL. What fake curse word do you think Kirk Cousins said the moment that the Atlanta Falcons took Michael Penix Jr.?
Gee golly jeepers. Gosh darn it.
Frack. Mother frickers.
Ooh, close.
Is that close? That was a little close. I apologize.
He's not
on
dropping
a Friday.
mother fricker.
That was a little close.
He's not doing that.
We could just keep it with a gosh darn it. Just a good old-fashioned gosh darn it would have sufficed.
Gee golly gosh darn it.
What the H-E double hockey sticks?
What the heck, man?
What the heck?
Yeah.
What the heck is this team doing? And then we find out after, Kirk Cousins literally did not know that this was occurring until the Falcons were on the clock. And we know that he knows this because his agent told everybody in the world how upset Kirk Cousins was last night.
And again, why the frick should that mother fricker know? Let me ask a question. The Titans took a left tackle? Do you think the offensive lineman for the Titans knew a left tackle was being taken? Do you think they called them and said, hey, we're going to take a tackle?
Okay,
why the hell should he know?
Will Levis is a different quarterback, in a different part of his quarterback journey than a guy who just moved his entire family to Atlanta, who was promised that this team was in win now mode, and instead took an old college quarterback, of which there were two, who both went in the first 12 picks of the draft last night. But this is somebody who is not going to help the Atlanta Falcons win a single game in the near and dear future.
Kirk Cousins goes down injured in his football, and that happens.
Yes.
Does
and
he
he's
help
coming off an Achilles tear, and he's what, 30? How old is Kirk?
He's Kirk Cousins. His age doesn't matter. He's Kirk Cousins.
He's 35.
Okay, fine, sure. Like that makes him like that. It's not like he's head and shoulders class of the NFL quarterbacks right now. He's never been head and shoulders class of the NFL quarterbacks. Only quarterbacks get this privilege, where it is, hey, we feel like you need to let us know if you're going to go in the draft and take one of these quarterbacks in the first 3 or 4 rounds. Yeah. Like, get out of here. Go in there and do your damn job.
He also is getting paid $180 million and at least $90 million, so it's hard for me to feel
help the Falcons how?
So bad.
What help them with what? Defense, I guess? Offensive line help?
The Falcons could have taken any other position, preferably defense.
Okay.
They don't have a defense.
Correct.
There were, at that point, every top-ranked defensive player still on the board because, as mentioned, 14 offensive players went first.
And they'll regret this pick. This is a terrible pick. But I feel not conflicted.
2 ways. You don't feel as if Kirk
Cousins shouldn't know because he doesn't matter. Get out there and do your damn job, Kirk. 1. 2, what a terrible ass pick. If you don't want to agree with me on this quarterback thing, fine. And people who watch the show know what the quarterback thing is. We don't got a whole lot of time for me to get into it today. But if you know, you know. You don't agree with me on it, fine. You got to agree that this draft was ridiculous. Awful. 6 of these dudes in the first 12? Are you Penix, Nix, and who was it McCarthy? McCarthy. What?
The Vikings ended up trading up to get McCarthy.
What? In the first 12?
Okay, but here's the thing. The best case scenario for a team, because of the importance of the quarterback position, is that you strike on a rookie and you're able to take advantage of a rookie deal. But that is why the Michael Penix picks is so befuddling, because let's say in this perfect universe, Kirk Cousins stays healthy. Kirk Cousins is your guy for at least the next 2 years. By the time Michael Penix Jr. is your starter, he's 25, 26 years old, and he's halfway through that rookie deal. The whole point is taking advantage of the best deal and getting the quarterback on the cheap for as long as possible before you have to go pay him a boatload of money. And the Falcons can't do that. I swear, the Falcons could have taken any other position, and we would barely be talking about them this morning. And instead, we talk about them enough that the focus gets sucked off of the bizarre nature of the Broncos taking Bo Nix with the 12th pick in the draft. At least Michael Penix Jr. was starting to flirt with the idea. I mean, he was going into last night, it was expected that he was going to go in the first round, which is crazy. I got in a fight with Chris maybe 2 months into the college football season this year where I just floated out the idea that Michael Penix Jr. could play his way into being a first-round pick. And Chris treated me like I was the dumbest person on earth. And I mean that in the most nice way. Like, don't worry. Like, it's fine. It was dumb. And as we were going into last night, he's like, how do you feel that you're going to be right? And I said, I think these teams are too smart. And I think perhaps it's a lot of smoke screens, as we see often in the NFL draft talk. And there's no way that someone is going to take a 23-year-old quarterback in the first round, or at least in the top 15 picks. And voila.
The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hart, live every weekday at 8 a.m.